Hey there, everybody. How are you? It is Friday. So, if you do not work weekends, hopefully you're excited. But it is Friday, and I wanted to do a quick podcast. And I'm going to do this one, or whatever this is. I don't know if it's a podcast or what it is. This one's going to be quick because it's about a disgusting subject. And this is from a guy who spent 12 years looking at people's feet. I think feet are disgusting. So, maybe that's just a personal phobia I need to overcome. Um, but I was helping somebody recently about with an injury, and it kind of reminded me about this one area that you can look at as it relates to your feet to kind of help understand the root cause of an injury. So before I jump into that, there's really three areas you look at if you're trying to figure out an injury. There's overuse, basically training too much, training too quickly, ramping miles up, doing different machines. If you go to the gym, you name it. Excuse me. So overuse is one. Imbalance, muscle imbalances would be two. You could kind of lump that into overuse, I guess. But just give an example. Maybe I know you do a lot of hill work. Your quads get stronger than your hamstrings, which causes an imbalance, which can cause some problems. You can kind of lump that into overuse in a way. And then the third would be biomechanics. So basically, like we've talked recently in some gait analysis and stuff like that, are biomechanics. So really, I think you could break it really down into two: overuse and biomechanics. And so you really have to like look at a lot of different things to understand. Like if you have, say, you have an Achilles problem, and that's a tough one to diagnose because it can be overuse, it can be imbalances, it can be mechanics, not enough support, too much support. It can be things like, wearing dress shoes, or, if women tend to wear high heel shoes for work, if you have to get dressed up a lot for work, your that itself shortens your Achilles during the day, and then you take your shoes off, you go for a run, you just dropped your heel bone, stretch the Achilles. So there's a lot of different things to try and diagnose, like Achilles tendonitis. So here's where the feet come in. If you have calluses on your feet, a callus is a lot of times a sign that you're putting extra pressure somewhere. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to help you with an Achilles problem and really trying to understand if it's overuse or if it's mechanics or whatever. If I start to see things like maybe like a wear pattern on the front inside of your shoe, that's going to like towards the big toe area. So basically, when you step forward or step off your foot, I can't speak, I guess here. You're putting more pressure on the medial, the arch side, the big toe area. So you'd see more wear there. What you're typically going to see as well is a good chance you're going to see calluses under like the big toe side of your foot, or if maybe you can get Achilles tendonitis from having too much support as well. You might start to see some calluses on the outside of your foot, on your little toe area, or something like that. I just know myself, for example, a number of years ago, I was out for a run, just stepped in a hole, freak thing, broke my foot. Ever since then, my right foot's been off a little bit, and I callus a lot. And it's just because of my forefoot stance. I don't step off properly the way, from a supination standpoint, if you will, and tend to get calluses there. So we try to wrap this one up. If you're really trying to understand an injury or something, study your feet. See if you're getting calluses in certain areas, or maybe you're getting blisters in certain areas. That's a sign that you're putting some extra pressure in that area, and that would start to lean towards, biomechanics as a possible cause of an injury. So, anyways, I just spent 4 minutes talking about feet. Um, Hopefully, it was somewhat helpful. It's a weird little thing, but when you're trying to solve an injury, you're digging, you're looking for anything, and you're trying to put. And I've said this before. I'll just repeat it one more time. You're trying to put like a theme together. You're trying to find a pattern of different things that support. Um, one root cause, and then once you can kind of put enough to get stuff together, and you kind of have confidence that you've defined the root cause, a lot of times the treatment's really simple. It's just defining the root cause of that injury. So, on that note, as always, it's a pleasure speaking with you. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.